Welcome to Neon Coliseum. I am His Eminence Neon 13, and today we're going to be talking about the Cayo Perico Heist, as to do it the right way the first time, so you don't have trouble. You can see I'm approaching the island on Longfin. In this particular case, I had an easy take because the cocaine, which is the most valuable secondary target in the game, was easily reachable right here at the North Dock. And when I take my boat here, I want to leave it up on the shore just a tiny bit, or else I promise you the tide is going to suck that thing back out into the sea and cost you time having to swim back. And if you're trying to get the Elite Challenge, which is going to net you an extra $100,000, time is of the essence, especially when you have to make multiple stops. Now be careful, because when you first pull up at the North Dock, there's going to be a tricky truck doing tricky maneuvers. He's going to actually make a U-turn and come back the first time he goes. After he clears the area, you can run back and pop this guy, and if you need to get into the other building, you can sneak around and wait till the other guard in there has his back turned and sneak in that way and get that. This case, this was an absolute blessing because I managed to find 2 stacks of cocaine right in the same lockup. So I was able to grab this quickly. Now, as I said before, cocaine is going to be absolutely your #1 go-to if you're soloing Cayo Perico. If you can get the cocaine, get it. But as a general rule, I would say you have to have it in the same area. Like if there's 2 cocaine on the North Dock, 2 cocaine on the airport, 2 cocaine on the main dock or something like that. Anything else, you're going to have to just make do with what you can get. If you can get cocaine with weed, cocaine with cash, but always try to at least get 1 thing of cocaine. Now, naturally, we came up through the drainage because it's the easiest way. And the important thing to think about right here is there is a rhythm when it comes to killing these guards. If you act the same way every time, and believe me, it's difficult because of the lag spikes you sometimes get down here, they will always be in the same position for you to go. I popped that guy, the first guy when I come up the stairs, then this guy. There's another guy coming down, and he's going to be peering into this thing really quick, so we hesitate for just a moment, avoid him, and then walk up here right to underneath the camera. Now, most of these guards who are walking in a pattern will have a time where they actually will stop in their route. Almost like football, as if they were going to, stop and curl or something like that. When they stop, that is the exact time to shoot them easily. And then you always want to make sure to eliminate this heavy coming around here because he's going to circle the entire compound the entire time. So put him down as soon as possible, as soon as he rounds that corner. And then I'm running here because you want to make sure you catch the timing on this guy. You catch the timing right, you hit that guy when he's standing against the wall, hit that guy when he stops on his patrol route, and then wait for this guy to come around the corner. Now, this guy around the corner, you don't necessarily have to kill, but it saves you avoiding him later when you're going back to sneak into the gate to do the hack and get the main primary objective. So you pop him. Also, sometimes he has the gate keys. So you pop him there, then come around, pop this guy. As soon as you mount these stairs here, this gentleman is going to start moving on his patrol route, come around here, but he'll stop and just stand there and stare at nothing, I don't know, contemplating his life choices that led him to being in this position, to being shot over and over again by players. So then you run up here, and you get the safe. It's always important to get the safe. Some people will ignore this altogether, but the safe can vary in the amount that it carries between about 50k up to like 93k, I believe, is the highest that I've had. Also, if you can only find 1 cocaine, you can always grab a painting in that office. And the paintings tend to be pretty valuable too. It's a decent thing to stuff up your loot bag there if you don't have anything else and you want to make your time for the Elite Challenge. Now, we don't hack upstairs in his office. We immediately jump off and we go down here into the lower gate, use the key to unlock that, and hack down there. Because obviously we're playing on hard mode, 0 lives, and double the hacks. But if you come down here, you're only looking at having to deal with 2 hacks as opposed to 4 hacks. And these can be time consuming. After a while, you'll get them down to the point where you should be able to get through each one in about 20 seconds. And once you can get through that, the 2 hacks down here really save you the time of having to deal with the 4 hacks. When you run in, grab your objectives, being bearer bonds or necklace, the stupid tequila bottle or the glorious pink diamond, whatever it be. And then run out here this way. And this is why we killed the other guy earlier, because now we don't have to deal with him on his patrol route, the guy who was up here and I ran up to catch. That's the only man standing in your way between there and the exit. So you can run freely, go across, come and do this cutscene at the door where you stand here looking like an absolute idiot for the 50th time that you've come in here and pretend that you don't know how to get out the gate. And that's just a lovely, lovely thing. And you make your way out here. Now you've got one gentleman standing between you and freedom, and all you have to do is pop him right in the head. Take his bike, and then you drive back towards the compound, and you find an exit point. Now, mind you, there are sweet spots here. It looks like I'm going around, in a strange manner, but I'm actually looking for a sweet spot, because there are certain places where if you swim to your escape, you are going to be swimming a lot longer and could possibly end up out there for like 3 to 5 minutes swimming in one direction. This area is kind of a sweet spot where you're not going to be swimming for more than 2 minutes and you're off to freedom. So you want to make sure you do that just to make sure you come in under that 15 minutes, because if you come in under the 15 minutes, get the Elite Challenge, no take is really a bad take. If you get cocaine and the Elite Challenge and you go right through and you're able to do that, even a tequila bottle take will still, you'll be taking home 1.3 million at least. I took home 1.4, and what you're going to do, brother? You're going to go right back again. Because after 10 minutes, it's going to refresh, and you've got to hit it in that sweet spot right there so that you can make sure you restart the heist in hard mode. So naturally, we come back here and we want to look around and see what we have. I typically mark things. I know not everyone does this, but I mark everything as I go. It does take a little bit extra time when you're going through, but I also don't want to have to come back, because what if you don't find that cocaine? What if all of the areas, what if the main dock, the airport, the north dock, and everything else, it's all bad, and then you have to try to make the best of a bad situation when you come back with your plan of attack. In this particular case, again, I was blessed by the RNG GTA gods in a sense, because I was able to come out here and find 2 cocaines right up here at the airport. And that was very lucky again to find 2 of them in the same places, because like I said before, sometimes you're going to have a salvage run, essentially. You're going to go through and you might find 1 cocaine, 2 weeds, 3 cash, something like that at one of these locations. Here, again, I was lucky, bada bing, bada bang, and 2 cocaine right in the same place. When I did my scouting on this one, again, I don't know if Rockstar broke something or not, but this was the ruby necklace again for the 6th time. Not exactly the most prized take in the world, but with 2 cocaines in the Elite Challenge, that's going to bump it up to around $1.5 million, which is going to be respectable. And if you can grind this out within the time of about an hour and a half, then you're looking at, making $1 million an hour if you can run 2 of these within 3 hours. So it's really still the best thing. Now, when I do my scouting, this is the most key thing for time saving, and you have to watch out for El Rubio steel bushes out here. Anybody who's been out here riding one of these manchezes knows exactly what I'm talking about. There's bushes that on the mainland you could probably get through without too much problem, but out here they are chipped and made out of steel and will just send you flying. So watch out for those. Try to pick up some speed and avoid the cameras as you're going through. And here's that dastardly checkpoint that we all dealt with the first time we went through. If you hit it right, you can just jump over it, bypass it entirely, and make your way up into the weed field and towards the control tower. And up here by the weed field, that's one, if you're going to do the cutting powder, I don't even do the cutting powder anymore, but that's one location right there, right up in this area here. There's a side building, and that's one of the locations for the cutting powder. I might have to stop and scope this thing out over here where there's another cage right there, but in this case I've already found the cocaine. It's all in the same place. I know what I'm doing, so I can go straight to the comms tower. I don't do the cutting powder anymore just because I'm not going to be seen. Period. After you've done this enough times, you don't have to do a lot of the preps. You don't have to mess with a lot of that stuff. You don't have to mess with the cutting powder because you're just going to go in, you're not going to be seen, you're going to cruise right through it. Now, after I've scoped my main target, and again, in this particular case, like I said, this is the stupid ruby necklace again, which is going to net me 1.1 million for the main target. Thank God I found those cocaines as a secondary target. I am climbing all the way up here just to show you something. I don't need to do this. Normally, in this particular case, I would just jump off to my death and let myself respawn by the airplane and leave. But you can parachute all the way across, over to the other end of the aisle by the main dock. And had I not found the cocaines there, this is what my next move would have been. So that way I could check out what was going on the main dock and be able to scope out the areas over there. Now, if you need the cutting powder, if you think there's a possibility that you're going to screw things up and not be undetected getting out of here, there's another spot right there, right where this gentleman's sitting, where you can find the cutting powder, and then you just go up to the water tower behind you and pop it in there. The cutting powder is nice because if you have to make a run for it, it's going to decrease the aim of the guards and even the attack helicopters that come after you by about 50%, meaning you're going to lose less loot on an escape if you're coming out under fire. And then I would come in here if I didn't find anything at the airport that I needed, or at the North Dock, because the airport and the North Dock are the two absolute easiest ones to get in and out of. This one becomes a little more complicated, especially if you have to go beyond this little garage here that's close to the entry point. And I did come back over to the North Dock just to show you guys over here where all the cages are and everything else. So I'm sneaking into this first barn here. And again, since I already found the cocaine, I wouldn't even do this if I was doing a solo run and not doing this for informational purposes. So I go through, catalog what I have here, and then I'm going to make my way up to the next cage, which is up here. And there's another water tower right there if you wanted to spike that with cutting powder. So there's plenty of opportunities to be able to do that if you feel like you have a difficult time with the stealth part of this. And the stealth part of it isn't difficult to master. You just have to do it a few times, get used to the guards' patrol patterns, and you can easily pick them off without any kind of issue whatsoever. And then this is actually a trick I had seen. I believe it wasn't invented by Tylarius, but Tylarius, the other YouTuber who deals with a lot of GTA videos, brought it to my attention that this over here, this building, is supposed to be one of those where player 1 holds down the key and player 2, or holds down the switch and player 2 goes in and gets the loot. But it's broken. So all you have to do is turn the switch and it will actually stay open. I don't know if it's a flaw in Rockstar's design or if it was just an Easter egg or some kind of trick they put in there, but this is very much in play if you're doing a solo Cayo Perico run. So if your cocaine isn't anywhere else on the map, it could be in here. There's a breakdown of the prices, what things are worth, with the variables and stuff. And to do this quickly, this is what you need to know. Cutting torch weapons, I used the Conspirator set. Then you get the codes, the plasma cutter, everything else. And never go get your weapons from Merryweather HQ. We know this because that mission is so stupid and so costly. This is the best use for the missiles, the guided missiles in the game, is to go directly to launch them as soon as you get that mission, blow up the helicopter, heist prep failed, try again.